Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to the Lavalais and Ella live show. I am here by myself this week. Lavalais will not be joining us. I'm sure he's going to be in the chat somewhere. I know he's watching. He had surgery today, and don't get worried, it was eye surgery. So he's just taking a little time off to recover from that, recuperate, and I hope that he will be back with us next week. In the meantime, you have me, Ella. Glad to be here. I'm so glad it's Friday. It's been a long week, very productive, very busy. I have been creating like fire, but very happy to be here and see everybody here on the family. Of course, I've got to give a shout out to who's in the house. I see Fern. She's in Torrance, California. Hey, Fern. She's always number one in our book. So thank you, Fern, for checking in. I see Rena. Rena's in Detroit. Hey, Rena. Nice to see you. Welcome to the Lavalais and Ella live show. Also, Issa Bay. She is in South Jersey. Issa, nice to see you. Checking us out. Also, Etha Reynolds. She's always a favorite of ours. Thank you for joining the Black Artist Market Room. See, I slipped up. The Lavalais and Ella live show and checking in with us. Also, we see Mel. Mel is part of our artist family. She's a jeweler out of New York, Queens, New York. Hey, Mel. Also, Robin, I haven't seen you in a while. Robin Harker-Fuller out of Midland, Texas. One of Lavalais' favorite fans. Thanks for checking in, everybody. It's nice to see all of those of you who are watching but not checking in. We love you. I love you. Again, if you just checked in, Lavalais not with us tonight. He had surgery today. And again, don't worry, it was just eye surgery. He'll be back with us next week, I'm sure. How could he not be? He doesn't want to stay away too long. Okay. Before I go too further, just want to let you know, coming up today, my guest is my very good friend Tite Pawu of Jewelry By Sistaphyre. She is based in Detroit. She's originally a New Yorker. And we're just going to have a little chit chat, about life, about work, what we do, who we are as artists. And just as a little treat, also, she's going to show us a little bit of her work towards the end of the show. Who else do we have checking in? Hey, Beverly. Beverly's in Richmond. She's also part of the family. So thank you for checking in, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. I'm glad it's Friday again. It's been a long week. Everyone that I spoke to today said, whew, I'm tired. It's been a long week. And it has been. It really has been. I think since we entered Aries, which I think was last week, it feels like Mars has been at my back and just like keeping us moving and grooving and working hard. But just, it's been a good thing. It's been a good thing. Okay, also we have Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia. She is out of Detroit. Welcome to the show. As I just mentioned, we've entered into Aries season. So if there's any Aries birthdays coming up in the month of April, please let me know. I'd love to say hi and give a shout out. Our first birthday we have to give a shout out to is Lavalais. I know his is coming up soon. He is an Aries in the month of April. Who else do I know that is an Aries? I know Issa Bay. She is an Aries, so I'm going to give a shout out to her. Anyone else? Let me know. We've moved beyond Pisces. We're in April, and yeah, let's see whose birthday is coming up. There we go. Lavalais is in the house. He's in the chat, everybody. And he's there. I know he's going to watch me and see how I'm doing. But Lavalais there. Say hi to him, please, everybody. Wish him well. He just is recovering from eye surgery today. Okay. All right. I'm just looking to see any more people, any Philly people in the house. Come on, please let me know you're there. As most of you know, I'm based in Philadelphia. And so it always makes me feel good, warms my heart when I see someone from Philadelphia watching the show. It would be good. Even someone from England, actually, that would be great. I do have to let you know, I've been back and forth to the UK this year, and people that I know in UK are watching the show. They watch it after the fact. They don't actually watch it in real time, but they do watch, and so that's always a good thing. It makes me, or reminds me, that we are global. We are global. All right, here we go, Zanetta. Thank you so much. She is greetings from Philadelphia. Good, we have Philadelphia in the house. I appreciate that, most definitely. All right, again, any more birthdays? Any more birthdays? I'm happy to wish anybody, you and yours, a birthday greeting. How's the show going to go today? I'm going to show some work. I'm going to show some hats today, which I think I almost always do. I'm going to show some hats. And then I'm going to bring on my guest for tonight, which is Tite of Sistaphyre. And we're going to talk about, art and festivals and creating and what we do. And then at the end of the show, we are definitely going to see some of her work, because I know some of you out there that don't get to see us at festivals would love to see some of her jewelry. All right. Okay. Thank you guys for all the comments in the comments chat to Lavalais. He will definitely be back soon, as he says. Okay, let me put that up there. That Lavalais is in the house. He'll definitely be back soon. All right, I'm gonna start off by showing you some hats. I am waiting for my tech guy Zeke to start off with slide number 1. And as I'm waiting, oh, there we go. I wanted to say that it's been about turquoise this week. I was thoroughly consumed with it, inspired by it, full of it. I dyed a lot of turquoise straws and I wanted to do some turquoise hats and show you some of the pieces that I have created this week. So of course we're going to start off with the fold away. It's just the #1 seller. Apart from the No Name in the wintertime, this is the #1 seller. And why not do turquoise, right? Turquoise is a beautiful color. I did look it up, and turquoise is all about luck, peace, protection, and it's just such a pretty color blue. This is an aquamarine dye that I used. It's a Procyon dye, so it's mostly all natural as opposed to a lot of chemicals in it, and it's very, very pretty. So this is the fold away in that aqua blue, that teal blue, and again you can play with it. The fold away packs flat, great for traveling. Okay, nice and flat, you just pull it on and it fits your head. It comes in so many different colors. I dye all these colors, so it comes in black, white, ivory, orange, yellow, pink, reds, chartreuse, lots of colors. The sister to it is the lace fold away. There we go, that's the lace fold away, and there's some of the colors that it comes in. Okay, you've got the chartreuse, orange, sky blue, tan, and the new color on the right there, which is the pearl gray. The lace fold away is a little smaller, a little tighter than the actual fold away. The brim is not as big. It's kind of cool to play with the hat, you know, act like you're hiding, but you can actually see through this straw. It's like a mesh. Very cool, fun piece. Gray is the new color that I have dyed this season. Okay, so this is the lace fold away, and the lace fold away is priced at $64. Again, you take it off, you pack it flat, put it in your bag. You want to look good again, pull it out, put it on, play with your brim. All right, the lace fold away, priced at $64, and this is the new color, which is that pearl gray. All right, slide number 3. And as I continue, I just want to say, if you see something that you like, please go to the website, lipshats.com. Lipshats.com, that's lipshats.com. There we go. And go just take a look, browse through, see what you like, put some hats in your cart, and come back and purchase some. It's a lot easier for you to buy that way. Plus, if you put your email in, you get 10% off, and you also have a choice of Afterpay, Shop Pay, Apple Pay. You've got different ways of PayPal. You've got different ways of paying for your merchandise. Okay, this is Baby Dare, and Baby Dare is a new design this season. It comes in tan, and I think I'm also going to do it in a turquoise or an orange. Great hat, fun hat. See how much playfulness is in this hat, what you can do with it. Okay, Baby Dare is priced at $77. Great hat. I mean, I have so much fun with this. Let me pull it back on again. There we go. I just think as creative wearable folk out there, you could have a lot of fun with this and match it with a lot of different outfits and wear it a lot of different ways. All right, $77 is Baby Dare. There's also a larger version called Dare to Be Different, and that comes in solid black and a white and yellow combo. But this is the Baby Dare. All right, $77. That's slide number 3. Slide number 4, everybody, is the Cleo. So we're going to show some of those turquoise straws that I've been dyeing this past week. Cleo, this is actually made out of recycled paper, and it's just me playing with the straw and whip stitching that raffia on the actual block straw. this turquoise again. I want to call it aquamarine. It's just a beautiful dye. When I dyed the straws, I think Monday, Tuesday, I was like, oh, had so much fun with what I could do. All right. Color can be very, very inspiring, and this one definitely inspired me. So these are priced at $85. Cleo comes in lots of different colors, and this one has a tie on the side. So if you have a smaller head, you can pull it tighter. Larger size, release the tie. It lets the hat breathe, gives you a bigger crown so you can actually get into it. Okay, priced at $85. And the raffia whip stitch is like a cinnamon brown and a gold. Show you all sides. I guess you could also pop this down as well if you wanted to. Give you a different version, hide a little bit underneath it. All right. Okay, Cleo. I've got it pictured there in the turquoise, and then the ivory next to it is a little smaller version. The brim is not as big, and it's whip stitched again in that gold and that brown. All right, that's slide number 4. Slide number 5 coming up. If you have any questions, also feel free to ask me as I'm here. I think one of the reasons for doing this show is actually to showcase the hats, try them on, so you can actually see how they look on. Okay, this one is called Madam. It comes in turquoise, chestnut, and jade green. Madam is it's like a Panama straw, and it's very playful. This one is actually quite big for me. I only did them in big sizes, but I am going to do them in smaller sizes so that they fit nice and snug. Okay, Madam is priced at $77, and it has that swirl on the top there, as you can see. And it's a little bit big for me. Like I said, it's a 25-inch. Smaller sizes I will do next week, and they will fit much snugger and much tighter for those of you who have smaller heads. All right, if you've got a 22, 23, the ones I'll do next week will fit you much better. All right, Madam is priced at $72, and it's colors turquoise, chestnut brown, and jade green. I will be doing orange next week. All right, orange is the color. Next slide, please. Skylark. Got a lot of rave reviews for this hat when I did it early this week. I was speaking to my friend Mel, and I was asking her about color combos. Like, oh, well, what do you think? Turquoise and she was like pink, and then it was like turquoise and, so she came up with pink, turquoise and yellow. So this is Skylark. It's all about this side, I think, with the pink. I'm gonna turn it a bit. There we go. Great look on this side. You can hide behind it just a little bit. Skylark is this beautiful, more of a teal as opposed to aqua. It's the same dye, but it's a different straw. Same dye, different straws dye differently. Okay, this is recycled paper. This is all natural sisal straw. So the Skylark, I'm going to show you all the way around because it's all about this side. It's priced at $185. I see Mel's comment. Yes, Skylark, yes. It's beautiful, isn't it? I had fun doing this. So it comes in this color. And then I also did the gray, which is next to it. It's a nice pearl gray. And I think you could actually make the hat pop with color. There's the gray. All right, I don't know whether you feel like the gray is more classic, maybe. Okay. They're all both accented with leather that goes all the way around the crown of the hat, and they both have this wonderful dramatic feel to them on the side here. Skylark is priced at $185. All right, that's slide number 6. Slide number 7, please, is called Joy. Again, inspiration was with having a conversation with Mel of KI Jewelry. And this is just a real funky fedora, accented with knotted leather all the way around the crown. Joy is a nice, not too wide of a brim. I call them funky fedoras because it is that shape. And the leather is that cinnamon brown, lemon yellow, and taupe. All right, Joy is priced at $185. I'm going to dip this down just a bit. There we go. Joy. Not too big of a hat. Completes an outfit. I could see if you had all yellow on, it would be perfect with this. Okay, Joy is priced at $185, and it has a nice little dip in here as well. All right, next slide, please. I think I'm going to go back to the natural. Yes, this was a popular design. I actually did 6 of them, and there are 2 left. This is Aurora. I'm debating whether to do this high crown in some other colors. Right now, like I said, I did 6 in all natural, and it's gone out to some favorite customers of mine. I did one similar to this last year, but the leather was very different, and you can pop that down. Okay, Aurora. I would tip it to the side just a touch like that, and maybe tip it down. Yeah, just like that. Priced at $185. It has some nice height to it. It's all natural. It's going to go with a lot of colors. Great for the summer season. And height is different, you know. It's a wow factor. Could always pop that down all the way around if you wanted to. Or again, just have it up so it frames the face. This is Aurora, and it's priced at $185. I have 2 left. All natural straw with these nice little knots that go all the way around it. All right, that's slide number 8. Next slide, please. We're going to go back to the turquoise. This one is called Lily. Again, it's a funky fedora. A little bit different of a shape. The brim is up on both sides just a touch, and the leather is white, pink, and I wouldn't even call that fuchsia. I'd call that like bubblegum pink and yellow. Okay, slightly different to Joy. This one is called Lily. The width of the brim is a little bit wider, and the height is a little bit higher. Lily is priced at $185. Okay, slide number 9, please. And as we're going through, I see a few more people have checked in. I see Marilyn. Hey, Marilyn, it's nice to see you. Latanya, nice to see you as well. I hope you're checking out these hats, checking out the flavor, checking out the flow. We've gone back to natural. This is definitely for larger sizes. This one is called JoJo, and has it's that hair on leather, cowskin on the side of the hat, and the ombre brim. It's all natural. There we go. It is a large size. It's quite big for me. There's a little bit of a gap here. It can be made smaller. Check out the website because there are some smaller designs if you have a smaller head that fit a little tighter and not as wide. So JoJo is priced at $185. Okay, and the leather goes all the way around the hat. Again, I would consider this a classic look. It will last you a lifetime. All right, I think I have one more hat to show. Can we check that out? One more hat. Yes, there we go. Smash. Smash is all black, all funky, just a smash fedora. It's not a small size, it's a medium, and it's just black, smashed, fun, playful. Okay, there we go. Smash. An easy hat to put on. I thought I would show it again. This was popular all this week on the website, so, and I really didn't have a chance to show it. I'm going to show the top of that so you can see. Okay, you might not see it so well in the lights, but it's an easy wear hat. Great hat to put on. I do. Zanetta says she loves it. I do believe Zanetta ordered one of these, so it's a fun hat, cool hat. And I might be doing this in other colors, but right now, right now it's a good hat for just every day, just throw on. All right, Smash is on the website, and I've forgotten the price. I think it's priced at $77. I think it's $77. That was my number for this year. All right, that is the last hat that I'm showing this evening, and I'm looking at, oh, hey, Adele. Adele just checked in as well. We've got a nice group of people in tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Guess who's coming up next? Oh, Robin. Okay, Robin, you got it. I will send you an invoice for Smash. I could see you doing this as well. Definitely. Anybody else have any more questions about the hats before I bring on my guest for tonight? Okay, anybody? Thank you for the comments. I know that you love it and that they're beautiful. Really, really appreciate it. I design for you guys, definitely. I always have people in mind when I design, and this was a great creative week. It really was. So let's bring on, let's not have too much fanfare. Let's just bring on my guest for tonight, Tite Pawu of Art Jewelry by Sistaphyre. She's a friend, she's a fellow designer, and we love chit-chatting.
We love chit-chatting, absolutely.
We sure do. How's your week been?
My week, I've been working every day, filling up orders, taking orders, trying to figure out what I'm making for the next show. I'm exhausted. I am exhausted. I really could lay down right now, but the studio is a mess. So we're just going to keep it right here. And then I'll go home and lay down.
We want like a bed, like right over here to the right.
A pillow is great.
A
pillow would be great.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But you know, I'm not complaining about the work. But I could use maybe 8 hours to sleep straight through. That would be great.
Yeah, I think it's because we're heading into show season, and
yes.
I'm feeling very creative, and sometimes it just draws you in. You've gotta do it. You gotta do it.
It's
hard to turn it off, you know.
And you were talking about Aries season, and I'm like, oh man, is that what that is? Because Aries puts that fire under you, and you're like, okay, so what am I gonna do? Well, I'm sitting at home. I have a glass of wine. I have my computer. I have my phone, and I'm going back and forth. Oh yeah, I was thinking about this, and then I'm writing notes about what I'm going to make and try to figure out what my direction is for the next show. And it's like, where did all this energy come from? Just like. And maybe that's why I'm worn out and exhausted, because I'm just spinning my wheels. And then once I sit down to work to actually knock out what I've been writing, hopefully it'll just kind of go fast. But I've been just trying to figure out what the direction is for the next few shows, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. We got a comment there from Holloway.
Miss Susie. Oh, excellent. And they fit perfect and everything. I hope so. I took a picture of those. Well, I can't get to my phone now, but yeah, they came out good.
Susie is based in Los Angeles, right?
Yes. Miss Susie came by a couple of times with us, and she came and she made me put on the rings, my stackables, and she went through them and she sat down with her colors. So yeah, That's
Yeah,
good.
we always see her at Pan African. So thanks for checking in, Susie.
Thanks
Appreciate
for checking in, Miss Susie.
it. Yeah, so talking about shows, and I know we're both preparing for the same one. What shows are you preparing for this season?
Upcoming season is Jazz Fest. I'm first weekend in Jazz Fest. After Jazz Fest, I am doing Palmer Park here in Detroit. I'm scheduled for another show right after Palmer Park in Detroit. So that's 3 shows, end of April, and then 2 in June. The first weekend in June, and then the second weekend in June. And then hopefully I'll have a moment, because I'm applying for another show in Indiana. I'm quite curious. I've never been to Indiana, and I'm curious about the art scene out there. When I was in Ohio, this one sister came up to me and said, well, do you go to Indiana? And you really should come. And I'm like, huh? Okay. So I'm applying for a show.
Yeah, you don't know. There's pockets of women that love what we do. So, yeah.
And I guess I'm close enough. So that will be interesting to explore, and just to see, if my flavor matches the women out there. So I'm applying for a show, and that might be July, and then back in Detroit for August. And then, I guess I'm just kind of keeping it there from April to August. I'm trying to figure out what the direction is. Oh, so wow. That's my lineup.
You're working way ahead for me. So I'm working from May to the end of June. So yeah. I also do New Orleans Jazz Festival. For those of you that don't know, for us as artists, it's one of the biggest events of the year.
It's huge.
It's huge. Tite's always there the first weekend. She's there first weekend. I'm there, which is the last weekend in April. I'm always there the first weekend in May. And we have to prepare a lot for that show.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think with that show, whatever new idea you have, you could really try it out there.
Yes.
And you get the vibe and the energy. Some pieces I put out, and I'm thinking to myself, this isn't going to fly, and people will flock right to it, and that'll be the first piece that will leave the table. So I feel like Jazz Fest, I can be as dramatic and as creative as I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So yeah, I have that show, and then I'm also doing Palmer Park.
Right.
In between that, I've got 2 pop-ups in Philadelphia. So my first one is April 14th and 15th.
Cool.
And that's a group show. That's with some of the other artists that you know, including Melody and Brenda. And then I do another one in May.
Right.
Palmer Park. And then also a new show for me, which is Columbus Art Fair in Columbus,
Ohio.
Which is...
That should be cool.
That's, June 9th, 10th, and 11th. So that's a new one for me. So I will do one new show a year. Yeah.
That's a good philosophy to have. That's a good thing to do. And just, check out the areas. I said, since I'm in the Midwest, I might as well give it all a try. I know what the East Coast feels like. I know what the East Coast looks like. So it's like, you know what? Let me try this. And I feel like folks really appreciate what we do out here. So it should be fun. Keep your fingers crossed for me to get in. I just got to say, Ella, I know I'm trying hard not to look to the other side of the iPad so that I can look directly at you. So I'm intently staring at the little... And I'm like, okay, yeah. But I'm excited. I know Ella thinks I'm a little weirdo, but I am always talking about tools. I love tools. And I purchased a new little tool situation. So I'm really excited. Like, okay, I can carve this and to set it in this and to do this. My head is just going. I'm on the websites looking at stones. It's exhausting. And I think that's where that Aries energy is coming in. It's like, oh yeah, that fire. And I'm already a Sag, so it's like double fire.
See,
I need a break.
You're into the tools. I'm into materials. So
the materials.
So I'm forever researching for new materials, traveling, looking for stuff.
Always.
If I can't find it, it's almost like come home and play with dyes and and this week was all about turquoise, as I mentioned earlier, and dyeing that color was my inspiration with that Aries fire coming up. I could not stop. It's almost like the hats are talking to, or the color was talking to me.
The color, you always say the colors talk to you.
The color was talking to me. Yeah.
I did a pair of turquoise earrings that I'm here when you were talking about the turquoise. I'm like, yeah, the turquoise, I get it. And for me, I'm coming into, I like to play with color in my work as well. Turquoise is a color that I use all the time. You can darken it by adding like purples and mauves, or you can lighten it up and add yellows and, greens and stuff. It just feels like it's a staple, Yeah.
It's not something that I don't necessarily dye that color a lot, so it was nice to have it and play with it. So speaking of festivals, you and I are I know we've been in this for a while, but we are still two of the youngest people on the circuit out there doing events.
Yeah.
So, does that concern you at all? Or do you kind of, where do you see festivals being in 5 and 10 years' time? Do you think it's going to be around, actually?
Before the pandemic, that's a very interesting question, because before the pandemic, I don't think I would see an end to me doing festivals, or just festivals ending. It just kind of feels like it's ongoing, and I've been looking at the show circuit since I started making jewelry and trying to figure out how to sell my stuff. I've been looking at different shows where it's predominantly, us, and then different shows where it's just a whole lot of other international artists, and just thinking of that. But since this pandemic happened, it feels like everything kind of went online. And I don't see myself doing festivals in the next 5 years. One or two, maybe shows, something huge, a museum show. I'm interested in things like that, a gallery show perhaps. But just trying to figure out what it looks like after this. Am I going completely online? I still love meeting up with people, and that's the worst part about not doing festivals, is not being in contact with the people, seeing people, trying things on. When we were in LA, I tried on one of Ella's hats. Our booths are right next to each other, so we'll stand and talk and just talk to our customers and stuff. And I tried on a hat, and this woman told me to take it off my head, and she bought it for me. I like stuff like she took it off my head and bought it for herself. Let me say that. I like stuff like that. Meeting the people, Miss Susie with the rings, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that any longer. Festivals seem to be kind of dying. There's a lot of groups on Facebook, and the people are complaining about festivals as well. The quality of product that's getting into shows, people who loved art, some of them are no longer shopping. Maybe they're a little bit older and they feel that they have everything, so they are, taking their money and doing other things. So maybe art shows, gallery shows, stuff like that, not necessarily festivals. What about you?
It's going to be interesting. What about me? Moving into other things, perhaps. I know people will be horrified, like, oh no more hats, but it is a possibility.
Yeah.
I, as an individual, might want to move into other things, other creative things, which might take me out of the festival circuit.
Right.
I see a comment from Zanetta. She says, I think online festivals are on. People still like to see the artwork.
Yeah.
People do. People do, but is it valuable for us to go?
And that's where that's the question right there.
It's
Because
it's a lot of work for us.
it's a lot of work. It's
Not
really
just
expensive.
very expensive. Very,
It's
very.
really expensive up front for you to, we have to put out a lot in the beginning and then hope to recoup it in the end and then some. And, you know, I guess we've been blessed to build up a clientele of people who really appreciate what we do. So it's not that dramatic knowing that, you know, I'm going to get on the plane and go to California and try to figure out a place to stay that's going to cost a lot. But it's the upfront costs, which is
I think since
a little dramatic as well.
Since we, you know, were in lockdown, we saw that there were avenues.
There were other ways to do this.
Other ways to do it, rather than putting out $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to get somewhere.
Yeah.
And to make money. And like you said, I love meeting our customers. I love seeing everybody in every city.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the cost involved.
It's the cost.
Yeah.
And I don't think that a lot of people know, as far as festivals are concerned, before you even get into some of the better shows, you have to jury into them. So right. That's a cost as well. And it's almost like just kind of to make it in to kind of bring it back around for folks to understand. You know, I don't know if you guys have heard about people who list apartments and you have to pay an apartment fee just for them to look at your application, and you pay this $50 fee and you never get called for that apartment. But then when you look online at that listing, still 3 months later, 4 months later, that apartment is still being listed. So that means people are collecting apartment fees. Same idea with some of these shows. You know, they might know that they only have 20 slots available, but they're collecting application fees, and you're waiting to see if you're in this show, but you have to apply for 3 and 4 and 5 shows just so that you can have something for that month. Right. So, and I wanted to say, I think during the pandemic, one of the things that I learned that I really like doing was making videos of the pieces that I've made. Mm-hmm. So that was, you know, one skill that I started developing, and still go back to it every once in a while, you know, just do like a how-to or what to see kind of video. So, you know, it's going online, you know, it's right. Going online.
I enjoyed learning new skills. I mean, I found out that I could do this, work this out. So that's definitely something that I learned during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Say hi to a few more people that have come in. Atwiana, hey, from Nashville. Nice to see you guys.
Nashville, nice. Yeah. I have a god sister down in Nashville, and I keep threatening to come down and hang out with her, but and it's really because of the food. You guys know that I love to eat. Everybody who knows me knows that I love to eat. You can put hot sauce and salt on a nail, and if it sounds good, I'm going to eat it. So I keep threatening to go down to Nashville just for the food.
Well, I know we've talked a little bit. I know people want to see some of your work. I mean, I think we could talk for a while, but hey, let's show some work and then we'll talk a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. So
excellent.
Go for it. Mm-hmm.
So, my name is Tite, like Ella said. I am a metalsmith, a jeweler. I've been making jewelry since I graduated out of high school 3 years ago. Okay, not 3 years, but I've been doing this for a very long time. Don't laugh that hard, Ella. And I absolutely love working with metal. It's the fire, it's the transformation, it's taking something that is maybe a flat sheet and adding some volume to it and some texture and turning it to an earring, a ring, a bracelet. What I wanted to do, I don't know if all of you are familiar with me. I see some of my some familiar names, some people who have my pieces, but I kind of like want to reintroduce Sistaphyre line, the Art Jewelry by Sistaphyre line. I want to kind of, I guess, give you a walkthrough. And this is also a video that I'm working on, how to wear Sistaphyre pieces. And while that sounds corny, because I know a lot of you already know how to do it, just kind of give you some of my vision when I put the pieces together. It's like, for instance, with my single earrings, as I'm making single earrings, I'm thinking about what it can match with. So, you know what? Let me start with some of my, well, okay. I pulled out something I call my double Africa pieces. Now, this has an Africa casting at the top. I created this casting and, you know, shipped it off to my casters in New York, and they created that for me. And this Africa piece right here at the bottom. Nice spirals, jewels all around it. But this is a single earring. So on my website, and most of the pieces that I'm going to show you is on the website. On the website, you have a section where it says singles, and then some, you know, it's broken down further. There's singles, there's asymmetrical pairs, there's mud cloth, because I've been developing a lot of mud cloth pieces. There's fun and funky color pop, because I do lots of color. So at some, you know, if I do an all silver earring, I'm going to do color earrings. So I have single pieces, which are very dramatic on one side, and you can purchase like a really simple piece to go either on the other side or behind it. And I say behind it because I have two holes in one ear, and I would put my Africa at the bottom, and then the candy stick. This is called my sterling silver candy stick. I'll put the candy stick in the hole behind it. So on the website, you see single earrings. Also, I want to say some pieces are limited edition. Some pieces are one of a kind. So when you see a piece online, read the description of it. It'll tell you if it's a one of a kind piece. You may never see it again. I might make it and then can never recreate it. This is another single piece. Let me go back. So my double Africas come in three finishes. This is sterling silver with amber and carnelian. This is 140 if I'm not mistaken. I have another Africa piece. This is with oxidized circles and 14 karat gold wire wrapped around the oxidized circles. It gives you like a black and gold kind of feel. I think this is, you know, like an evening piece, it feels. And you would pair that maybe with the candy stick. There are other candy sticks with cabochons for color. I didn't pull any out. I think I sold them all, and I haven't made another one yet. But if you look on the website and look in the single section, you'll see candy sticks, and the drop down would give you just a variety of colors. Now, with some of my other single pieces, like I said, I do a lot of color, and that section is fun and funky color pop. So this is a single earring. This piece here is a painted piece, and it's almost like I want to say it's almost like a painting. It allows me to paint. I don't have the skills for a super huge painting. Oh goodness, I'm sweating like crazy because I'm nervous again, but excuse me. I don't have the skills for a super huge drawing. I like to keep it here. And I put all of that energy in this in a little piece. And this piece is on the website, so you would see the colors even better. It's like yellows and red and turquoise in this piece. This piece is $125. Another fun and funky color pop, this single earring, all black and white. This is $125. And it's mid duster. It's not super long. It doesn't hang all the way down to your shoulder. I have earrings online that hangs to your shoulder, but this is where it is. It kind of like stop right there, right before it hits your collarbone. The painted pieces are actually copper. I paint it, I bake it, and then I set it like a cabochon. And I do that because you can never really find very dramatic, interesting stones. You might run into it every once in a while, but that's every once in a while. So if you look in the fun and funky color pop, you'll see single pieces, you'll see pairs. I can show you some pairs. And as a matter of fact, I have these earrings, which sells very well for me. These are like hoops. Now, this one has a crazy lace agate stone at the top. This one has tourmaline. And what I've been trying to do is asymmetrical earrings that are pairs, but not so much. That's like the direction for this year. My singles and my singles are going to be my singles, but my pairs are going to really be like asymmetrical, like really dramatically asymmetrical. And so this is how this earring sits. I have about 3 or 4 different styles on the website. I want to say this is $135 for the pair. It's on the website. You can take a look at that. If this is something that you like, you could always send me a message and say, I love earring, fun and funky color pop number XYZ, but I'd like you to create something with orange or yellow or black even. And I can play around and create something very dramatic and individual for you. Some earrings, again, I like to be very unique. And I did some fun and funky color pops. And Ella, you was talking about turquoise. This is a set of earrings.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Now, these guys kind of look like shields to me. And this is like a beautiful gray and purple coin pearl at the bottom. And, you know, the fun and funky color pop pieces are one of a kind, mostly. There's no way that I can recreate these, you know, the same colors. This pair is $160. So if this is something that you're interested in, everything that I'm showing you is for sale. Some of the pieces are on the website. I'll let you know if it's on the website. Some of the pieces, like this series of earrings, hot off the bench, like literally from the bench to the table. I haven't had a chance to photograph it yet. But these guys, you can call these FFCP BAM 165, and they are 160. So that's this color. I made them in orange as well. And so this piece this is chrysoprase and antique amber. It's like the light is very bright. The amber is kind of like white. Let me put this.
Pull it back a bit. Pull the piece
is
back.
It the
forward? Yeah, you got to be a little bit closer, but not too close.
Yeah, let me.
Okay, yeah, that works.
It's kind of dramatic, holding it behind this. But it's green on one side, antique amber on the other side, and the antique amber is like a butterscotch white, light yellow. And on the other side, it's amethyst. So this is the pair. This is Fun and Funky Color Pop, number 164, and this is also 160. The frame is sterling silver, and the stones are real. They're you know, natural stones, and this is how this hangs. If this is something that you're interested in, you can leave me your email address in the chat. I can send you a payment slip, or you can send something to my Zelle or my Cash App and just put in the style of the earring that you're interested in. And here it is in green. Now, green is my favorite color. if you can't tell with the nails and the green painting and everything else, right? So this is green onyx at the top. This is a red coral bead. This is Fun and Funky Color Pop 163, and this is also 160. So I wanted to also show you some more single pieces and some rings. Now, Miss Susie talked about rings that I made for her. She was talking about stackables, and that's these guys. Now, everything is on the website, and I can just kind of run through some of the pieces. I have on 6 pieces. There's a bottle cap, a shanty fan, 1 and 2, Bantu knots, and there's a newer piece that I will be putting up on the website next week. It's a half round, so it's a larger, longer half round piece. I made it with Bantu knots for Miss Susie. So I kind of made it a little bit dramatic. But this is just a nice silver piece, and you can stack them all. They're all on the website under the ring section. Some of the other rings that I do, I was talking about mud cloth. This is my rendition of mud cloth and metal. This stone is a light amethyst. This is 165. The band is adjustable. This ring is on the website, so you can see it better.
Now I've seen that ring in person, and I know it looks better in real life than it does under the lights there. Like it's the amethyst it's a beautiful color. It looks like it's gray.
Yeah.
It looks silver gray, but in person it really is like a lovely lavender color.
It's a lovely lavender. It feels like it's a crystal, like an actual crystal that was chipped into a donut shape.
Right.
Now this ring, and I love circles, so I always look for circles to put in rings, and I'm not really sure why that is, but I love the donut shape. I put it in the rings. I have the middle. I can put something in the middle. This particular stone is brecciated jasper, and the stone that I put in the middle is amber. And I did it like this because I could not fit a big enough piece of mud cloth in the middle for it to be super dramatic. But with the new machine that I got, I have some other stones. I carved out a largest circle for some other rings to put mud cloth in it. I think I almost cartwheeled through the studio because I was able to do that. And that really, stuff like that I love, but okay, I know I'm a dweeb. This ring is 185. This is brecciated jasper and amber, and this is an adjustable band as well.
Can you hold that one up a little bit closer so we can really see? Because you said it was jasper, and I didn't really realize that.
It's a stone named brecciated jasper. So this is like, it is burgundy with some of the typical jasper color, which is kind of, I want to say burnt orange, creams. So you can see it. Yeah, this one, I guess because it's not super light, you can see the colors in that particular ring. And it also has a adjustable band. And some of the pieces that are not on the website today, if you don't get to it and you rewatch this video and you see something that you like, you can send me a message on my website, sistaphyre-ny.com. Oh, it's right there. Or it should be up on the website next week. I'm not doing any website work this weekend, but it will be up next week.
So let's talk a little bit more about festivals.
Okay.
So I see you doing some beautiful pieces. Do you do specific pieces for specific events, or do you just, okay, I'm going to do 20 rings or something like that? Or do you think, okay, the people in Detroit will like this and the people in New Orleans will like this?
You know, that's a good question. I did those earrings that you're wearing. I did these in New Orleans. I only had like 12 or 13 pairs. And I know you guys are like, only? you know,
Well, you
you
don't
have
know.
to have quantity. You don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. But these guys are earrings that I've been making for a long time. When I take them around, a couple of pairs sell here and there. And, you know, the people like it. I like the movement of it. I like the idea of all of the color. In New Orleans, I sold every pair, which says to me, these really work in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I made more for Detroit right after it. I probably sold the 2 shows that I did in Detroit. I probably sold 5 pairs in total, but I sold 13 pairs in New Orleans in 2 days. So I am beginning to say, yeah, okay, maybe New Orleans, I'll do more of this. What I noticed that the people like for New Orleans, it's the color. They want the color. The other shows, they like the shapes, and I do the shapes for the other shows. The newer shows, I'm not sure. I'm just going to wing it, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
I'm just going to wing it and see where I fall in that line.
Yeah.
But
see, I do specific hats for specific events, like
color wise or shape wise.
Both. So I know that New Orleans we're outdoors for 4 days, and it's definitely about wide brims, big brims, and it's definitely about color, like you
color.
said.
Yeah.
So as an artist, I have fun with just doing the greatest color matches, putting stuff together. Like you said earlier, it's a great show to just bring different pieces and have fun and experiment.
Right.
So, love that event. Other cities, I'll bring different pieces. I'll bring smaller, more contained, funky pieces to California.
Right.
It's a different clientele. So
it's a different clientele, definitely. Yeah. I think I'm a little luckier with the jewelry. Outside of the color, I can, you know, like the pieces that I create, I think they kind of get what I'm saying with it. Like, okay, like LA. I haven't been in LA since 2019. So when we came back, outside of the people who watched this show, which was, you know, quite a few people came and, oh, I saw you here, and which was fantastic. Some of the other people got it. So LA, I can probably play. New Orleans, but then on the flip side, this is what I also wanted to say. I am smoking. On the flip side of that, we are artists, we get to play, but we need to eat. So, you know, years prior, I would probably not do 13 pairs of earrings to take to Jazz Fest, because I'll be like, oh, I'm over it. I will take 13 pairs plus some, because that, you know, I can eat off of that, and then I can play with some other things, and I can really be dramatic. But I know that I'm going to sell those in case my dramatic don't reach them this time. You know what I mean?
Also, I wanted to say, pick up on something else you said, was the people here get it. Like, and I think what you're saying is they get me as an artist.
As an artist, yeah.
Yeah. It's they understand that, and different cities feel differently about what we do. Some people are like, why is it such and such a price? Why is it this? Why is it that? You know,
it's so long. Do people wear that?
Yeah, the people, right? Things like that. Like, do people wear those shapes? Yes, they do, and they love what we do. So, but as an artist, I think to me that's the most important, that the customer gets what I'm expressing. This is my inner creativity. This is what I'm not just like, hey, making a hat and selling it.
Right.
Exploring myself as a creative.
You get to see who we are.
Yeah,
through the pieces we make.
Oh, most definitely. I love the way you put that.
Yeah.
you get to see who we are. We're expressing ourselves. We're expressing
And,
our identity.
I laugh at you and Melody all the time because you guys come up with the most dramatic names for your pieces. And I just don't have those words. My thing is, hopefully when I make the piece, whatever words come to you, fantastic, because I am a very introverted extrovert. And depending on who I'm around, it might, reverse, obviously. But
believe it or not, I would describe myself the same way.
Right. And I think most artists are. We go so far inside that sometimes when we come out with our pieces, we've given everything to the pieces, and hopefully that stuff is talking, because I have no more words. I don't know what else to say. I can say it's green, but I can't tell you, I can't give you the inspiration because, I went to sleep and woke up and there she was, and I had to bring her out.
Well, so I think these platforms that we have, that we've been forced to do, to come on and talk about our work, has pushed us, prodded us, enabled us to talk a little bit more about the product, about the hat or the ring, instead of just like, hey, here it is, like, and we hope that the hat will say everything that we are. Because customers out there, this is what we do. We are laying it all out on the table.
We're laying it all out on the table.
We are.
We absolutely are.
We do every live event that we do. We're laying it out. We're presenting to you our innermost selves.
Yeah.
And we hope that you love it. We do. And it comes back in monetary form.
It comes back in monetary form. It comes back in accolades or oh my God, that's so fantastic.
Right.
And I can say that I can be a little sensitive sometimes. So if somebody was to say, ooh, I had one time I had this woman on the phone with a friend telling her, oh, you should come see this jewelry. This is nothing. I would never wear stuff like this, but you would wear. I don't wear this kind of stuff. And she was right in front of me. And I had a woman come by and she saw the pieces and she went back and got her family and they all came and shopped. So there was that validation there. But that one woman who said, I mean, they screwed up and everything. I would never wear anything like this. But I think you would like it. You should come down and see it. It really kind of made me say, oh, maybe there's something wrong with me. This is my language and you're telling me that I'm a weirdo. So, it's just like you said, we are laying it bare. We're telling you everything about us. And yeah.
So, and sometimes we have to be quiet when there's customers in our booths saying all kinds of things about what they see. I don't think people actually realize that it's all handmade, and you're speaking about us because these are our babies.
These are our babies. But okay, so I think this kind of piggybacks off of one of the things that we talk about. We are the youngest ones on the circuits that we travel on. We're not going to say how old we are, but there are not.
No, but we are the youngest ones.
We are the youngest ones.
We've been around for a long time. We started when we were like 10 or something like that.
Yeah, 8. But there's really not a lot of people behind us doing this.
No.
How do you feel about that?
It concerns me that there's nobody in their 20s and 30s coming up who are exploring jewelry or, I don't know, any younger milliners, except people who like to buy hats and paint on them, which I don't think is millinery.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. But yes, it concerns me that this form of fashion, this form of wearable art will die with us.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
being the youngest ones, Tite and I talk about this all the time, and that, like, wow, once we hit our 70s, you know, and beyond,
60 years from now. Mm-hmm.
yes, once we hit our 70s, 60s, 70s, 50s, whatever, it's who's behind us?
So you said, and I'm trying to pull it all together, because you said that a lot of times that the people come into our booths and they don't really understand that it's all handmade. Do you think the lack of people behind us is because maybe they don't want to put that kind of work into it? Maybe no one has actually introduced them to this stuff. You can actually make it by hand. Because, you know, when you look online and you see a hat or you see a fantastic necklace, you don't really connect that, oh yeah, somebody made this by hand. It's not machine made.
Right.
Maybe it's that education. I'm sorry. I'm, you know.
You know what? I've had mentees. Like, I love to mentor young girls. And I used to have a store here in Philadelphia. I had one from 2000 to 2006. And I had young girls that would come in. They came in from school and worked for me. They were like 15, 16 years old. They were just perfect, just that age, just to mentor. And I took them to events. I've taken them all over, and they work for me. I've shown them how to make hats, but they all thought that it was too much hard work. Even though I'm showing them a skill, I'm taking them to an event and showing them, oh, you can make money. They see that you can do well with this. It was still like, oh, this is hard work. Let me go get a job. So
yeah. And I would absolutely love to bring the next set of entrepreneurs up with us. And I love how you say this form of fashion are wearable arts, because we're speaking a particular language. And sometimes, you know, I'll say this is my version of mudcloth, and certain shows people get it. Oh, I can see it. Mudcloth, I know what that is. Certain other shows, I have to say, well, this is my rendition of mudcloth, which is a fabric from Africa, and so and so and so and so. Now I have to have more of a conversation. Right. You saying our form of fashion really kind of struck me, because that wasn't, I think, when I spoke to you earlier, you said that, and I was like, wow, our form of fashion. Who's going to continue it? Yeah. Who's going to continue this?
Yeah. You know what? This is a conversation we can definitely continue. We'll talk more about it. I know you've got more pieces to show, so I'm going to let you show your work. Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of mudcloth, I've been really kind of exploring mudcloth and all of the ways that I can make it, I guess, interesting. I've been into it with the single earrings. So I can show you a couple of pieces of singles. These are my new favorites. My old favorite is the mudcloth lady. You can see this online. So she is, I would say, about 4 inches long. This particular one has turquoise in it. No problem. She has turquoise. Zeke.
Put her on the main screen, please, Zeke. Thank you.
Thank you. So this one has turquoise in it, and you'll see online I have a few other stones: turquoise, amber, Ethiopian opal. She's just very elegant. She just kind of, you know, lays really nice. They're $155. I have turquoise and amber here. Any other stone, amethyst, if you want me to do some, you know, a different stone, carnelian, you could always send me a message. I don't know if I have those guys on the drop down, but you could always send me a message. So this is my 2022 favorite. I made myself one with turquoise. I absolutely love her. My 2023 favorites, these are my mudcloth lady. Stacks. They're short. They're wide, they're dramatic. I love them. This one is all amber. This one is 165. They are, the 165 is on the website. This one is 180. She has labradorite feet. It's so weird because she feels like a little squat woman, you know, with the little feet, and she could dance. It's when Ella and I say that, you know, we lay it bare. This is what I do when I'm in the studio. I make something and I'm like, oh, she looks like a little. I'm just sharing that. I'm just sharing my inside voice outside with you guys. But this one is 180. I think it's one of a kind. I mean, I'll do more in this flavor, but not quite like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could always add more stones if you guys see this and say, "Ooh, I like it, but I want it to have more of this and less that." Hit me up. Send me a note. This is also something that I'm playing around with, and hopefully you can see that. This is all sterling silver. I oxidized it, and then I put 18 karat gold over, you know, it's strategically placed. You can see it better on the website, sistaphyre-ny.com. You can see it better. You can see the gold stand up over the silver. I don't actually remember how much this one costs, but I want to say she's 165. Something like this, I would definitely wear with one of these. And even with this, if you wanted to match one of the oxidized earrings with, you know, the all silver candy stick, but you wanted to kind of go with each other, I can oxidize this piece, take some of the oxidation off, and then, you know, be a silver and oxidized earring set. And then you can wear those together. I love playing with silver because there's so much that you can do with it, and you can make it look very elegant and very dramatic and very creative. That's particularly why I stay with sterling. I am interested in gold. I do a few pieces in gold. Some of you guys, you may have already seen some of my other shows, like my studs I do in gold, because I think the studs are very interesting in gold. But I like sterling because you can go big or go home with sterling, and it you know, it lends itself to being very dramatic. Now I wanted to do some other kind of stackable rings, and these two are the only two that I did. I'm going to make more of them, but I did mud cloth on one side, and this is golden rutilated quartz on the other side. This is like a size 8. It's not an adjustable band, unfortunately, but it's a size 8. And this one has green onyx with that same golden rutilated quartz, and then this mud cloth on the other side. This one is this is also an 8. So this is what they're doing on both sides. And then now something like this, you could put a stackable ring with it, but you would have to put a shorter one with it, or you put like the higher stack up against the mud cloth so that you can wear your rings together. I wanted to also talk to you about some of the kind of neutral pieces, or what I would consider neutral pieces that you can put with your single earrings that has a lot of the drama and the flavor on one side. So like I said, with the double Africa earrings, I would either do a long silver candy stick or something small and short. Now these guys are my geo circles. I have a small, and then I have a size that is a little bit larger. They're 55 each. You can send me a message and say, you know, I want a geo circle, I want a small, I want a large. They're all the same price, just to keep it, you know, just to keep it simple and easy. They have a hook, which makes it, you know, it hangs down a little bit. You can put another earring in that hole to give it more of a look. And my whole philosophy is pretty much creating your own style. So you can take a lot of these single pieces and wear it in a way that I would never wear it, because it just, maybe it didn't hit me to wear it like that. I did these button pieces for LA and I sold quite a few of them. So if you're not interested in a hook, but you would want a button, these are 55 each as well. And I just kind of did really dramatic circles so that you could wear it. Let's say if you wanted to wear a mud cloth button on one side, this one is on the website. It has amber and garnet. And you can wear another dramatic circle on the other side, or you can, wear it right behind each other. I like to experiment a lot with my earrings on one side and then just do something really simple on the other side. I guess, oh geez, yes, Mama.
Something that you said that made me think, creating your own style. So, we're going to wrap this up in a minute, but more about the concern about who's coming up afterwards, after us, as far as wearable artists. I think that there's going to be a newness coming up, because I think about the millennials, and their style of dress is very clone-like. They're not very individual. The 90s was a time where people would definitely, and even before that, the 80s, a time of people really embracing wearable arts. All the artists that we know started their careers in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and there was just a ripe time for people wanting to be individual and different. And then we had like a generation or a couple of generations that have been quite clone-like in how they dress. You see a group of them walking down the street and they all look the same.
They all look the same.
No one stands out. Yeah.
And you know what? I saw when it started to happen, or at least how, or when something happened, it made me just kind of tilt my head. I was working in 4W. I can help you out, Miss Daphne. Give me one quick second. I was working in 4W. 4W was a Black woman-owned boutique in New York back in the day. I worked in 4W for about 2.5, 3 years. A lot of great artists came through 4W. Miss Selma Jackson, who ended up being the sole proprietor, she was very, very, very adamant on cultivating artists, cultivating Black artists, and that was bottom line. But after a while, the conversations that were happening and in the store, and people who was my age at the time, I'm going to find, the money to buy a Brenda coat. Somebody would say to me, oh, I went to the secondhand store and got Chanel. And I'm like, but why? You have Brenda, you have this person, you have that person, people coming through, all kinds of interesting jewelry, bags, clothing, and you would much rather go and buy Chanel. And they would go to thrift stores and they would go through just to find this name brand, and that name brand wasn't us. And after that, it just seemed like it was so much. More and more people just started turning away from even the Moshood, because I used to wear Moshood all the time, but turned away from the Moshood and just wanted to buy, stuff that they saw on TV, stuff that they thought was more valuable because it had a different name or whatever. And I started seeing more and more of that when I was in 4W. That was in the 90s. And it really made me sad. It made me want to wear us more and more and more, because why am I wearing Chanel? Why? What's the point in that?
I hear you. I think to tail end that part of that conversation, I do feel, and I felt it last year when I was in New Orleans at Jazz Fest. There's a lot of young people that come to that show as well. It's like it's a whole, you get everybody that comes. and they loved what I had. You know, there were 15, 16, 17-year-olds there with their parents who had been coming to Jazz Fest for years and are now bringing their children along. And
Nice.
I've got tons of pictures of young girls and boys that wanted to wear the hats and weren't afraid of them at all. So I was very encouraged from that particular show that there's a new generation coming up that want to be individual, want to be different. And when that's like a seed that's planted, then there'll be more artists and designers that want to feed that need. So I hope that happens.
I hope so too. I hope so too. Because this is, you know, I remember seeing Akosawa and Brenda, and oh my God, the first time I saw Damali's clothes, I think my heart stopped for like a second. This woman ran over to our space in LA. I was sharing with another artist, and she had on this fantastic dress, and she was looking for another piece, and I couldn't breathe. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I really hope that there are other people who come up and give, you know, take somebody else's breath away, and, you know, the younger ones want to wear it and want to create it.
I hear you.
I really hope so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to acknowledge all the audience that's been watching. Thank you guys so much. There were a couple people that placed orders. Ether, I saw your comment.
Oh, great.
And the Smash, and also Robin, I saw your you wanted one of the hats as well. So I'll send you guys invoices for sure. I know Tite, you had Daphne that was commenting.
Right. Daphne, I guess it's if you're interested in singles and how dramatic you are, start with, go on my website, sistaphyre-ny.com, and look for something like, maybe you can go for the pairs that don't quite match, but match enough, depending on your comfort level. I would start there. Or, well, I'm biased. I love the mud cloth pieces. Do a mud cloth piece with an all silver candy stick if you want to do dramatic, but you still kind of want to, you know, take it to work, and you don't want it to be big and bright and loud and long. That's what I would do. That's how I would start it. Okay. Or, you know what? Send me a message. Go to my website, send me a message, and I can you know, just kind of send you some pieces online. Just say, well, look at this and look at that, depending on your style.
All right, wonderful. Okay. Okay, Lorette. Did you see Lorette's comment? Okay.
And can I acknowledge Miss Adele Sanders? She doesn't remember this. And I told her the last time I spoke to her. When I worked at 4W, she was an artist there, and I asked her about shows. The next time she came to the store, she wrote a list of shows I should apply for. Beautiful blue ink,
you remember,
white paper, because I still have it.
Wow.
I have moved from New York to Detroit. I have moved from different apartments, and that piece of paper still comes with me. So I just wanted to send her a shout out, because at that time, nobody, I would be like, oh, so what shows are you doing? Everybody was closed-lipped. No one said anything.
Very true. There was a time people were not sharing anything.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to send her a shout out.
Okay. Daphne has a comment.
This pair with the...
Okay. Daphne wants to take it there.
I'm okay with that. I'm good. So this was fun and funky color pop. You know what? Just put orange. If this is something that you're interested, you can put orange. and either put your email in the chat. I can send you a payment slip, or you can send something to my Cash App or Zelle, and still send me your email so that I can get your shipping information and we can go from there.
All right, excellent.
And these guys are $160.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. It's been a wonderful show. I really enjoyed having Tite on, and we've had great conversation. We have to do it again sometime, right?
We have to do it again when I'm not sweating and
you need a fan in the background, like a fan.
Oh my God, now I need a fan. Why? Yes, okay. You're absolutely right.
So thank you again, Tite, first of all, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody out there, for watching. It's been a wonderful show, and check us out next week. Please share, everybody. Tell your friends. Go to YouTube. Share that with everybody, that you know that might be interested in what we do, which is from the heart.
From the heart, where we lay it all out.
Yes.
You know what? You come up with the great from the heart wearable art. That should be the name of another show.
Okay, guys. Good night, everybody. Good night, Tite. And
good night, darling.
All
I'll
right.
see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.